do think we are live. Welcome to Sunrise Yoga in Hawaii. I'm Will Donnelly with willspracticalyoga.com, and we are here to do an amazing yoga class this morning if we can overcome our technical learning curve. Basically, my computer wouldn't work today, or the camera wouldn't work for some reason on Chrome, so we are stuck with the phone, but I think this will work. I just see somebody signing on, so welcome, whoever that is. If you're just joining in, it's Will's Practical Yoga. We're doing Sunrise Yoga in Hawaii. I just want to show you how absolutely stunningly beautiful it is here today. Very, very gorgeous morning to do yoga. So if you're just joining me, we're about to do a 50-minute yoga class. So I want you to get nice and comfortable, whether you're watching this live or watching this after the fact. I'm going to set up the camera and pray you can hear me. I'll set up the microphone and everything, and we should be able to get started in a minute or two. So let's get set and see. All right, that's pretty good, right? Not too bad. Okay, so, all right, let's see. Aloha, Brenda, Hannah, Lord Duncan, Catherine, great having you there. Good to see you. All right, I think we're ready to go, and I think we should be able to start right about now. All right. I'm going to plug in my super duper speaker, and so you can hear me. Personal. I mean, teaching is hard enough, but when you have to take into the consideration all the tech issues, it's pretty overwhelming, as all of us teachers are learning right now. But it's so great to be able to come and sit with you guys. So wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Let me see if I can see myself here. Let's go to Will's Practical Yoga. Thank you for your patience. Normally, I'd love to just be able to sit down and teach, but right now, we're just finding it a little challenging to, there we go. All right, great. All right, so if you're just joining me, pull up a yoga mat or a towel. Sitting here, I want you to take in all this incredible beauty and make it your own. Listen to these stunning birds, listening to the wind blow through the trees, feel the sun on your skin, even in your mind's imagination. So let's see. Let's see if I can figure this out. Great. Oh, look, I'm sideways, right? This is crazy. I'm going to turn the camera around. All right. I'm glad I can see my own post. Yeah, I guess you can't do it horizontal. So we are going to set this up so that you can see. I don't really like this way, but we're going to have to work with what we got. Okay? Okay, that's better, right? And let's see if I can see it here. Yeah, okay, great. This is better. Apparently, I'm learning, as I've never filmed a live class on my phone. I usually do it on my computer. So, let's begin at the beginning. Aloha and welcome. I'm Will Donnelly from Will's Practical Yoga, and this is Sunrise Yoga in Hawaii. Today is Thursday, May 17th, and to have you here. This has been so much fun to be able to circumnavigate the technical issues and show up on this incredibly beautiful land and share this incredibly important yoga with you. So as we're moving on, it looks like we're good to go. So as you're settling in, just get nice and comfortable in a cross-legged posture. Just get comfortable on the floor. Close down your eyes and take a couple of deep breaths. And allow the breath to help you center into this moment. And as you close down your eyes, begin to imagine that there is an invisible string at the very top of your head pulling upward, lengthening the spine, resetting the skeletal body. And as you do that, soften all the muscles of your body. Let the shoulders relax down, the arms hang heavily, the face soften. See if I can get some internet and just make sure. Take a few deep breaths through your nostrils down to the lower abdomen. And just allow yourself to settle in. Okay, good. Take a few deep breaths through your nostrils down to the lower abdomen. Okay, good. We are good to go. All right. We're going to take this time to consciously turn our attention from being externally focused in this very busy world, even if we're confined to our homes, it seems even busier sometimes, and turn that attention inward to our inner life. So first and foremost, just noticing what is as we sit down to practice yoga. First, notice the world around you. Feel the earth underneath you wherever you are, hardwood floors or carpeting, whether you're indoors or outdoors. Just notice your sense of place on this earth. If you can, feel the air on your skin and notice its temperature. Become keenly aware of the sounds around you, and certainly the sounds coming through this broadcast of the birds here in Hawaii and the natural life, flora and fauna, but also the sounds in your home, the air conditioning or fans or sounds of anything. And also notice the light through your eyelids as the sun makes its way across the sky. So if you're indoors, just noticing the light through a window and just getting your sense of time. And now taking this mindfulness and going inward. So really just notice your breathing. Feel your inhale and feel your exhale. And scan your body for what it is that you have brought to the yoga with you today, both on the energetic level and physical level. So for the physical level, if you've really just come to the yoga today for a physical workout, then I want you to really begin to imagine seeing yourself later today in full receipt of the gift of the work we're about to do. So if you've come for the physical workout, I want you to see yourself fit and really strong and healthy, feeling really good in your body. If you've come for more of an energetic and spiritual lift and adjustment, then I'm going to encourage you to feel the sense that your body is fit, but going beyond that into the spirit realm of really feeling a sense of peace and calm and centering. Just really feel the energetics of your mind and your emotions. And if you do that, then I want you to see yourself later today feeling really, really good, exceptionally good, filled with a sense of creative possibilities, regardless of what's going on in the world around us. Just see if you can cultivate that sense of expectancy, that sense of possibility. We're going to hold this image of ourselves in the future, in full receipt of the gift of the work that we're about to do today, and see if we can stay emotionally connected to this image we have in our brains as if it were actually happening right now. This is called feeling the future now, planting seeds for the future. So let's give that a try. We'll just hold this image in our mind's eye of us in the future and try to stay emotionally connected to it as best we can as we breathe for the next couple of breaths. Good. Now, if you had an image in your mind's eye and any emotional connection to that image, I want you to just let it all go now and come back to simply following your breath. Just feel the inhales. Good heat and friction and energy in the hands. We are balancing the left and right hemispheres of the brain with all these powerful meridians of our hands, and also cultivating energy at the heart chakra, which is our fourth energy center, the place where our animal self meets our spirit self. So all this compassion hangs out at the heart. Having a great understanding that it's complicated being an animal and it's easy being a spirit. So they dance together. And we'll pull the thumbs into the sternum, take a nice deep inhale through the nose. And exhale. Another deep and powerful inhale through the nose. And exhale. Good. And now just breathing naturally. So we're going to take this time to tune in to our higher consciousness and consciously call our wisdom forward for this class, but certainly for well beyond this class. And we'll do this by borrowing from the ancient Sanskrit tradition of using sound as a form of therapy to help us realize the power of the present moment. And the sound that we'll use this morning is the simple sound of Om, said by the yogis to be the sound of the constant hum of the universe itself. We will use it to tune into the flow of this beautiful universe and find our spot in all of it. Let's take a deep inhale for a long and gentle Om. And take a deep and powerful inhale and hold the breath up. Sip in as much air as you can into the lungs, then squeeze up at the root lock or the pelvic floor muscles. Bring your chin down. Let this energy rise up and consciously call your wisdom forward. And exhale. Keeping your eyes closed, let your hands come down into your lap. And before you open your eyes, just spend a moment noticing. Noticing if you've been able to make any shift in your nervous system by using your breath, the sound of your own voice, and the intention of your mind and heart. And as you're ready, slowly and gently opening your eyes. Yeah, welcome to class, you guys. If you're just tuning in, this is Will Donnelly with willspracticalyoga.com, and I am offering a sunrise yoga in Hawaii today, May 17th, I believe the date is. I'm losing track of the dates, most of us are, if we're not working. So it's really great to be here on Thursday, May 17th, to do this yoga. If you're new to class, what I found is that I have a handful of people doing the live classes actually with me, and then hundreds of people doing them after the fact. So regardless, if you're new, I'd love to hear from you. Let me know that you've attended. Leave a note. Just say hi from Georgia or hi from California. It's so-and-so. Maybe tell me if we've met before, if I haven't seen you in a long time, or tell me your favorite thing about yoga. I'd love to hear from you. And also, if you can, sharing this is really important. This is a free gift that I'm giving out to the universe because of COVID-19. It is driving us all batty, right? And so what I've found is yoga is the great equalizer. It is really one of the most powerful tools I've ever experienced. And there are many facets to it, so I encourage people to explore what would work for them, which is what we're going to experience today. Let us begin. Today's lesson, before we begin the physical, I was reviewing my book. I've got a book out called Practical Yoga's Wisdom for Everyday People, and I highly encourage this book. I don't sell it a lot just because I wrote it years ago and it's been very helpful, but I really believe in it. It's a book of small essays that I wrote in my process of trying to figure out my place in this universe. And one of the stories was reminding me about the struggles of life and how we can use the struggle of life to actually help us. Maya Angelou, the great American poetess, Maya Angelou, said that we all appreciate the beauty of a butterfly, but rarely do we acknowledge the journey that that butterfly has gone through to achieve such beauty. And I want us to all acknowledge where we are right now with COVID-19. It is one of the great challenges of our human condition, but it is also one of the great opportunities. Isn't that the old card I used to have in packets was crisis, in the Japanese language meant both crisis, problem and opportunity. And we're in this crisis now with the opportunity to radically transform how we approach our own individual lives. I don't necessarily recommend looking out to society and trying to fix it all, because the great fix is when we fix ourselves and come into the world with more love in our hearts and more ability to tap into the gifts that we were born to give, which is always about service to others. So with that, today's class is really about using what we've got today to wake ourselves up, to allow ourselves to gently awaken into who we really are. If you've been following in these last 3 classes before this is the 4th in a series, and I've talked about different things. The first one was just explaining that yoga is a mindfulness program, not a fitness program. We use fitness, but it's not a fitness program. It is a mindfulness program designed to bring you to your personal power each and every day you sit down to access it. And then the following week, I believe I talked about, oh, am I going to remember? Last week we'll talk about, I do remember, we talked about the power that we were born with. We were born into a realm to give a gift, and we are not told this at birth. And the sad truth is, many of us go to our graves with the song still in our heart. I don't care if you're a singing pizza maker, or a beautiful kindergarten teacher, or a master billionaire who's trying to figure out how to feed the world through a more effective way. We all have an important role in bringing the beauty forward onto this planet. And so today, I'm encouraging us to not try to reach outside ourselves for any solutions. The solutions are always within our own hearts. You know, one of the stories in my book is about where God hid the meaning of life inside the human heart, because it's the last place we'll look. We're always looking outside ourselves to try to, like, solve a problem. So now we're home and we're reflecting, and now is the time to say, how do I make it through this day? Not only make it through, but to really fall in love with my process of enjoying life, of giving the most I can, eating healthy foods, taking care of my body, and turning my mind to a more positive perspective. So with that, let's, now that we've done the physical or the mental yoga, let's add the physical yoga and really committing this class to our own awakening to today, to what's happening before us right now, and knowing that what's right in front of us are the keys to our own enlightenment. And we talk about incremental enlightenment. This is where we just do a little bit every day, where we start pulling ourselves away from our suffering and more toward the joy of just being excited about the fact that we are alive and anything good is possible, right? I always say the metaphor on that is, if we were on a boat on the ocean, if we were out there and said, well, we're going to turn our direction in 1 degree, no one on the boat would feel that. You would not say, oh, we're now looking at a different area. You can't tell in the ocean, like you often can't tell in daily life if you've adjusted. But in the long run, that boat will come to a very different shore than it would have had it not turned its course. And our lives are the same. If we adjust just a little bit, that little 1% each day or each moment or each month or whenever is going to have us landing at a very different experience in our lives. And this is our goal as yogis, to take back our power, to tap back into our gifts that we were born to give. And if we're not sure what it is, you can kind of make it up. Listen to your heart and get out there and start serving, making the world a better place. So let's get physical and really explore what it is that this body is offering us for the day. We're going to take the arms out to the sides and up. Nice big inhale up as you reach up toward the sky. Exhale, sweep down and clear out. And 2 more of those. Nice big inhale as you reach up, lift up, breathe up. Exhale, sweep down and clear out. And 1 more time, powerfully breathe up, lift up. Exhale, sweep down. You're going to take your arms behind your back and interlace your fingers. Roll your shoulders up, back, and down, and straighten your arms into Yoga Mudra. A nice tall spine, soften the rib cage in, and bring your chin down. And breathe. So just take a couple of breaths here. Opening up the energy of the heart. Oh, goody. Hi, hi, Kathleen. Yay. So excited. Oh, you guys, this is so much fun. Very good. So keep stretching and opening the heart. It looks like we're really good to go still. So, and you're going to release that. Take the arms out and up. Nice big inhale up. On the exhale, bring your right hand down to the side. We'll do a side stretch. So keeping your sit bones on the ground to keep your arms straight. Bend the elbow or elbow on the ground. Reach the left fingertips long. Opening up the energy along that left side of the body and really breathing down into the core. This is the edge of the posture, where we call the stretch, or kind of leaning into the posture. It is the most sacred place in all of asana. It teaches us everything. It's the foundlings of our wisdom. So as we listen to our body and start to pick up on the messages, we get really good at it. Let's inhale up, nice big breath up. Exhale, switching sides. Now reaching your right fingertips long and opening up the energy of the body along the right side, just so you can feel really wonderful today. That is asana's entire purpose, to help us feel really good. Excellent. Nice big breath up. Inhale. Exhale, sweep the arms down. You're going to take your hands behind your back and have the hands land underneath your shoulders. We're going to come into a mild back bend. So you're going to have your hands land under the shoulders, lift the hips up, lift your heart up and out of the hips, and then let your head fall back as you're comfortable doing so. Once you're in this back bend, I want you to squeeze the root lock or the pelvic floor muscles, send vitality upward toward the heart as you open your heart and chest toward the sky. Make a sacred offering And coming down to seated. All right, so from here we are going to go into a forward fold. So if you have any back issues, please just be doubly mindful. You're going to lead with the navel center and just slide your hands forward as far forward as you can go into a stretch. Now, once you're as far as you can go, you're just going to relax the head down and breathe. Let the breath be deep and steady down into the lower abdomen. And notice how the breath works with the body when you're in a bound posture or a forward fold. It's very different than if you've got your heart open. And walk your hands back up. Now we're going to switch the cross in our legs so our hips are happy. You're going to just switch the cross and come right back down into that forward fold. So leading with the navel center, forward fold into a nice forward fold stretch for the hips. And coming back up seated. Now from here, we're just going to do a nice little stretch for the hips. You're going to take your two fingers, grab the big toe of the right foot, and just kind of take it out to the side. We're just going to kind of stretch it out a little bit. And then from here, you can stay doing this if you want to get a little bit better stretch for the hips. Bend that knee, and you're going to just grab this foot. I usually tuck my right foot into my left elbow area, bent arm, and the right arm, almost like you're cradling a baby. Now, once you've got a hold of this leg, like you're holding a baby, you're going to lift up from the sternum, a nice tall spine, and pull that knee in safely, right? Keep the foot flexed so the knee is supported, nice tall spine, and you can rock this baby. It feels really good. This is one of my favorite little stretches when I go and somebody's teaching. I just love doing this. I don't teach it as often as I could, and so I'm just committing to adding this to more classes. I think it's a great stretch. And then taking that toe and just lengthening out to the side. All right, let's do the other side. So we'll grab that left toe, go long, and sort of stretch the life nerve along the back of the left leg. Just kind of move from side to side, nice tall spine. Then we'll bend that left knee, cradle this arm so the right elbow bends and cradles the left foot, and the left arm wraps around that left knee. Lift up from the sternum, nice tall spine, stretch, and if you want to rock back and forth, feels really good to do so. Take a few good deep breaths. One more breath here. And then we're just going to grab that big toe and take this foot out to the side. Good, that feels really good. I did a big class yesterday. I'm really sore and I feel great. All right, you guys, let's do this. We're going to come down onto our backs. We're going to do cross crawl crunches today because they're just great to do. We're going to take our arms over the top of the head. Nice big inhale here. On the exhale, both arms come up and one leg comes up. Inhale down, exhale, switch sides. We'll just keep going with alternate leg lifts. Nice steady pace, keep going. And really let the breath be powerful. This is where we really are going to impact ourselves, and I want you to be breathing through the nostrils as you do this. For those of you that do not know, the nostrils are a powerful area to help us regulate our own nervous system. And so we find that as you're going, so keep at a nice steady pace, use your core and breathe powerfully through the nose as you can. So inhaling and exhaling through the nostrils. The left nostril calms us, the right nostril energizes us, and together as we breathe through both, they balance our nervous system, the nadis. So this is good to know. You got about 10 more seconds, keep up, don't give up. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Let both legs come straight up. Flex the feet. Keep the hips on the ground. Arms are straight up from the earth, 90 degrees. Take a breath. Core is engaged. And slowly coming down, bending the knees or not. Arms can go over the top of the head or down to your side body. Take a breath. Just take in the power and the beauty of your own breath as we begin to build this sacred heat. All right, let's bring our knees into the chest. We're going to rock gently side to side. A little shiatsu pressure for the kidneys, just rolling out the lower back so that we get energy moving. That is the key to wellness. And let's roll over to our right side. Come on up onto all fours. coming into tabletop pose, we're going to do some leg extension cat-cow. I can't quite see, so I think I'm still on camera. This is so crazy. Just making sure that I'm on. Yeah, great. That's good. Okay, good. So with your hands underneath your shoulders and knees directly underneath your hips, we're going to go into some cat-cow. So rolling the hips forward, drop the belly, lift the heart and head on the inhale. On the exhale, reverse the motion, chin to chest, arc the spine. Use your abdominals to really press it out. Go back and forth a few times. Good, and one more. And just ending up in neutral as you're done. We'll do some leg extension cat-cows from here. Send your right leg back. Inhale your head and leg up, nice big breath. Exhale, nose to knees, and crunch it out. So it's a nice inhale, exhale. Nice steady pace. As that leg goes back, your head lifts up. You take a nice deep inhale. As the knee comes in and the chin comes down, exhale, use your abdominals to really fire out the breath. Good, nice steady pace. Let's do 3 more, 2 more, 1 more. And let the knee come down. Take a nice deep inhale. On the exhale, sit back on your heels. Walk your fingertips out in front of you. Stretch the upper torso. Breathe down into the hips. And coming back up onto all fours. Let's do the other side. So left leg comes up. Nice big inhale up. Exhale, nose to knees, and crunch it out. Nice steady pace. If there were a pigtail at the top of your head, it would be flying through the air. So I want you to get a nice sense of elongation on the neck as you do this. It should feel really good to do this exercise. This is probably one of the best exercises I've come across. It's a perfect warm-up at the gym, for yoga, or just doing it anytime, before golf or tennis or a bike ride or a swim. It warms up all the major muscle groups and gets synovial fluid going in the hips, spine, and knees. It's really good for us. Let's do about 3 more. And 2 more, 1 more, good. And let the knee come down. Sit back on your heels, separate out your knees to the width of a typical yoga mat. Lead with the navel center. We'll come deeper into our forward fold, reaching the fingertips long, dropping the navel center and heart down to the earth, and breathing down into the hips. Good, and coming back up onto all fours, curl the toes under, come on up into down dog. So our first one of the day, just finding your down dog. Feet are usually about hip distance apart and hands shoulder width apart. Relax your shoulders, shake out the head. And for those of you newer to the practice, if you've got tight hamstrings, and certainly I still do after 30 years of yoga, it's great to take a wider stance if you're going to be in this posture for more than a couple of breaths. So if you're going to hang out for a minute in down dog, just I have my feet go to the edge of the mat and sometimes to the outside of the mat when my hamstrings are really tight. That'll take the pressure off your hamstrings and lower back and allow you to still get a nice stretch. Excellent, great, you guys. Okay, so from here, we're going to just do a little bit of a gentle warm-up. We're going to take a nice deep inhale. On the exhale, drop your knees to the earth, sit back on your heels, bring your forehead down to the ground. Exhale and bow. Inhale, rising up into a back bend. You've got 2 options here. You're going to take your hands behind your back and inhale your hips and heart up. If that's too intense for your body, just come up onto your knees, take your hands to your lower back. Same thing, lifting up from the core, mild back bend. Exhale, diving through the air, landing gently in push-up. Lower down to chaturanga. Rise up into cobra. Pull up and out of the hips, soften the buttocks, drop the shoulders down. Head is lifted, chin is down. And curl the toes under, come on up into down dog. Good, we're going to do 2 more of these little warm-ups. So just moving the hips side to side. Take a nice deep inhale, and on the exhale, drop your knees to the earth, sit back and bow. And rising up into our back bend, either full back bend or on your knees, take a nice deep inhale. Open the energy of the heart. Exhale, diving forward, landing gently in push-up. Lower down, chaturanga. Rise up into cobra. and then come on up into down dog. All right, we'll do one more of these. So move your hips side to side, whatever feels good to stretch. Take a nice deep inhale here. On the exhale, drop your knees to the earth, sit back and bow. Inhale, rising up into the back bend of your choice. Nice, big, beautiful inhale. Exhale, diving forward, landing gently in push-up, lower down chaturanga. Rise up into cobra, and then come on up into down dog. Take a breath, walk it out. And we'll step our left foot forward, then our right. We're at forward fold at the front of the mat. Inhale, halfway up, Ardha Uttanasana, flat back, big lungs. Exhale, release from the hips, drop the head, release the neck, shake it out. Inhale, rising up with a strong core, flat back. Inhale up. Exhale, hands to heart. Good. All right. Welcome to standing. We made it to standing. This is always a good sign. All right. Let us continue on. We're going to go into variations of Surya Namaskar A. So just coming into your Tadasana, last week I talked about the three platforms, the feet, the hips, and the shoulders, so just being aware of that. If you haven't heard about that, go back and watch last week's class if you can find it on my Will's Practical Yoga page on Facebook. And always going to willspracticalyoga.com to find that in live classes. So finding your Tadasana, just getting nice and comfortable in a standing posture. Just scan your body, make sure you feel ready for this flow sequence. We'll take a breath here. Feels good to breathe, doesn't it? Very good. Let's bring our hands together at the center of the heart and let us begin. A nice big expansive inhale, open your heart for your practice. Exhale, hands to the base of the spine, shoulder blades together. Inhale, reach up toward the sky, lifting energy upward. Exhale, bring some of that beautiful sky energy and connect it to your heart. Take your hands down to the sides, out and up, nice big inhale up. Exhale, forward fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway up, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, step or jump back into plank pose. We're going to do 6 push-ups, so you can come to your knees if you want to. Take a nice deep inhale, and on the exhale, down for 1, up, 2, up, 3, up, 4, 5, and 6. And then slowly lowering down into chaturanga, rise up into cobra, or up dog if you're ready. Soften the buttocks and lift up at the core, drop the shoulders down. Curl the toes under, come on up into down dog. All right, let's bring our feet together so the toes touch. The first thing we're going to do here is just send the left leg high. Stack that left leg and hip on top of the right. Work to bring your right heel down to the ground and reach that left toe as high as it'll go. Good. Nice big breath there. And then we're going to step that back down. Come into plank pose, shoulders over the wrists. From here you can stay here in plank or come into suspension bridge. That simply means keeping the toes curled under, slowly dropping the hips down, firm the legs, relax the buttocks, lift up at the core, and drop the shoulders down. Just doing whatever feels really appropriate for your body. And then coming back up into down dog, let's do the other side, sending that right leg as high as it'll go. Work to bring your left heel down to the ground. And bringing that leg back down, come back into plank, shoulders over the wrist, and then dropping slowly into suspension bridge. Change the musculature so you're not putting too much pressure on the lower back. And then come on up into down dog. Take a breath, and let us continue on. Let's go into a low lunge flow. We're going to step our left leg forward, drop your right knee down to the ground, rise up into a low lunge, angel wing arms. So feel the back bend here, lift up at the core, drop your shoulders down away from the ears and open your heart toward the sky. Take a nice deep inhale here. On the exhale, windmill your left arm down, twisting to the left. Once you're in the twist, I want you to lift up at the sternum, drop your shoulders down, reach the fingertips long to engage. Good. Bring your hands together in prayer pose on this side. We're going to bring that right elbow to the left knee and come into a gentle twist. Now for some of us this is enough. You can stay right here and just kind of lengthen as you open your heart and chest and face toward the sky. If you want a little bit more intensity, you can curl that left foot under and straighten out the right foot and straighten out the right leg. And slowly coming out, the arms are going to go long. Swing this left arm back up. Inhale. Exhale, sweep the arms down into Yoga Mudra. Nice big inhale, exhale, and bow forward. As you bow forward, work to bring your chin to your chest and gaze upon the navel center. Inhale, rise up toward the sky. Nice big breath up toward the sky. Exhale, hands come down to the earth. Plant your right hand under that right shoulder. Straighten out your right leg. Left arm opens up out to the left side in a twist. Firm your right leg. Press into the heel of the front foot, making sure that knee is right on top of the heel. Lengthen out through the top of the head. Open your heart, chest, and face toward the sky and breathe. Wake up your body. It is the greatest gift on earth, truly. Good. Nice big inhale here. And on the exhale, bring your hand down to the inside of this foot. We're going to come into lizard, so if you know it, just come into it. To get into it safely, we'll move this left foot out to what would normally be the edge of your yoga mat, with the pinky at the edge and the heel about an inch in. So out here, if you have blocks at home, you've got three options. Straight arms, softening the heart down, forearms on a block, or forearms on the ground. So choose one. Keep that back leg straight and strong. We're still in the heat building phase of class. This sacred heat is so important to do every day if we can, or as often as possible. Good for our physical body, but also equally, if not more important, for our mental and energetic body. Good, and let's step back into down dog. Take a breath, walk it out. And let's do the other side. We'll step the right leg forward, drop your left knee down to the ground, rise up into a low lunge, angel wing arms. Feel the back bend, open your heart. Nice big inhale, and on the exhale, windmill your right arm down, twisting to the right. Lift up at the sternum, drop the shoulders down, reach the fingertips long. Swing this arm back. Oh, actually, let's do this. We're going to bring our palms together on this right side. Bring your left elbow down to that right knee and come into a gentle twist, lengthening as you twist. Staying here if this is enough. If you want more intensity, you'll straighten out that left leg and come up into the lunge, the full lunge. Good. Dropping that knee down if it's up. Bringing both arms back up into Anjali. Nice big inhale. Exhale, hands come down to the earth. Plant your left hand under that left shoulder. Straighten out your left leg. Right arm opens up out to the right side. Just activating the body wherever it feels really good to do so is the general rule in yoga. We are always looking for that amazingly good feeling. And the more we do this, the better it feels. Take a nice deep inhale here. On the exhale, bring your hand down to the inside of this foot. We'll move that right foot out to the edge of the mat at a slight angle and come into the posture of your choice. Breathe, lengthen out through the top of the head, soften the heart down to the earth. Just activating your life force. It's one of the great gifts of this universe. So really feel the goodness in your body. And let's step back into down dog. Walk it out a bit. Step your right foot forward, then your left. You're back at forward fold at the front of your mat. Inhale halfway up, big breath. Exhale, release from the hips, drop the head, let go of what you need to let go of for today. Let's rise up. Strong core, flat back. Reach up toward the sky. Exhale, hands to heart. Take a breath and just notice the impact you're starting to have on your body. And if you're just tuning in, welcome to class. I'm Will Donnelly with willspracticalyoga.com, and we're doing sunrise yoga in Hawaii. So if you're just settling in, you can earmark this link so that you can come back and do the full class, which I highly encourage, and just take in all the sounds and the beauty from this incredible place on earth, this Hawaii ecosystem. All right, let's begin with the next phase of our standing postures. Now, from the front of your mat, you'll come to the very top of your mat and come into Tadasana. We're going to step back into Warrior Two to do our standing sequence today. So just finding your Tadasana, we're going to step the right foot back into Warrior Two. If you don't know where your feet should land, if you're newer to the practice, if there were stripes on your mat, just make sure they'd be on the same stripe. Your heels would be on the same stripe. Good. Now, let's get started. Let's look to the backhand and stretch the neck. And look to the front. Turn the left palm up. Inhale into reverse warrior. Nice big stretch. Exhale, bring that elbow down to the knee. Right arm goes long, side angle. Inhale up into reverse warrior once again. Nice big breath. Exhale, this time you can come down to that same posture, but if you would like, you can go a little deeper by taking your hand down to the earth or to your ankle, coming into side angle with Shavasana arms. Firm your legs, press into the heel of the front foot, lengthen out through the top of the head. And breathe. You guys are doing beautifully. I can sense it. I can't see it, but I can sense it. And by the way, I'm starting Zoom classes on Sundays, so go to my website if you want a more interactive and really deep and rich class. Good, let's inhale up, reverse warrior, big breath. Exhale into warrior. Now you can come down to either one of those two, elbow on the knees or hand to the side, or you can take the bind. Left arm goes under, right arm goes over. Lengthen, find the bind and side angle. You can stay here and just enjoy side angle, but if you want to go a little deeper, straighten that left leg coming into bound triangle. Good, and bending that left knee, rise up into reverse warrior, big breath. Exhale into warrior. We're going to straighten that front leg, turn the foot so it's parallel to the back leg. Take your hands to your hips, wide-legged forward fold. Take a deep inhale, and on the exhale, hands come to the earth, come into your forward fold. Again, rising back up, slight bend in the knees, rise up, reach toward the sky, big breath up. Exhale, hands to heart, bringing some of that beautiful sky energy down to your heart. Now we'll come into the posture on the opposite side simply by turning our right foot to the back of the towel, coming into warrior on the opposite side. Paying attention to our feet, how they feel on the ground, then our hips. Make sure you're not rolling them forward, so engage the core, lift up at the frontal hip bones a bit, and then drop your shoulders down. We'll look to the back hand and stretch the neck. Take a breath there. Feel the stretch. Look to the front hand. And let's get flowing. We'll turn this right palm up, inhale into reverse warrior. Exhale, elbow to the knee, left arm goes long side angle. Not too much pressure on that elbow, right? We want to keep our core nice and engaged. Inhale into reverse warrior once again, big breath. Exhale, coming down to that same posture or arms in Shavasana. Firm the thigh of the left leg, press into the heel of the front foot, lengthen through the top of the head. Just wake up your body. Good, rising back up, big breath up. Exhale into warrior. Now you can come down to either one of those two postures, or if you want to take the bind, take the right arm underneath that thigh, left arm goes over the hips and lengthen. We can stay here if we like. If you want a little bit more intensity, we can straighten this right leg into bound triangle. Trikonasana. Good, you guys, bend that front knee, come into reverse warrior, big breath, exhale into warrior. Straighten the front leg, turn the foot so it's parallel to the back leg once again. This time we're going to come into a wide-legged forward fold with arms in yoga mudra. So interlace your hands behind your back, roll the shoulders up, back, and down. Exhale, bow forward. As you're doing this, I want you to try to activate the hips by pulling the heels together without moving the feet. So you're just activating by firing up the legs and trying to engage them and pull the feet together. Fire up your core, just wake up your life force. You will never regret it. Good, let the hands come down to the earth. All right, we're gonna plant our right hand underneath the heart. The goal here is to make sure your sit bones aren't way behind your heels. So just making sure you're not having the sit bones and hips go way past your heels. Plant your right hand underneath your heart. Left arm opens up out to the left side in a twist. Now the key on this one is making sure that that left hip doesn't rise too much. So you're constantly working to square your hips to the earth. And breathe. Nice big inhale here. On the exhale, bring this left hand down to the earth. Plant your left hand underneath your heart, and the right arm now will open up out to the right side. Lengthen. All twists are about lengthening out through the hips and detoxifying. Let's bring this right hand down. Good, you guys, let's get a nice hip stretch in. So we're going to walk our hands over to our left foot, bend the left knee, first coming into our wide-legged squat. If this is enough for you, just feel the stretch here. If you want more intensity, sit on that left heel, straighten out that right leg, and just find the stretch as you bow forward. feels good, right? It feels so good. The amazing thing about yoga, when I started years ago, 20, 30, well, really 30 years ago, I was miserable in a lot of classes. It just hurt, and the teachers weren't very kind. But as time went on, I found teachers that were really awake and compassionate and powerfully inspiring. And also my body changed. I began to really enjoy all of this, all the workout, all the awakening of the nadis and the muscles. So if you're not there yet, you will get there. And let's come back up to center. And we'll go over to the right foot. So bending your right knee, drop the hips down, wide-legged squat. Staying here if this is enough, or going deeper by sitting on that right heel, straighten out the left leg, bowing forward to find the stretch. Breathing deeply down into the hips. Feel your body, be aware of this moment. This is really all the work that there is just being fully present for what is. I think yoga is like it's a spiritual recovery program where we recover our spirit body so that we can feel ecstatic. I always say that we were wired at birth for joy and ecstasy, and the amount that we let in is solely up to us. And many of us have gone the other direction. We live in fear and worry, but really that's choice. So really choosing right now to feel amazing so that we can take this amazing feeling off the mat. And let's come back up to center. Keep the knees slightly bent. We're going to rise up, our final salute up. Nice big breath up. Exhale, hands to heart. Take a breath. Notice the heat that you've created in your body, or notice the impact that you're having. Just be aware. Acknowledge yourself for this really good work, this purifying work, this clarifying work. And then as you're ready, let your hands come down. Walk your feet together. All right, you guys, you're doing great. And let's see, since I'm going kind of blind today, I'm going to have to open my computer. Let's see. All right, well, let's do a standing posture. I got to make sure I know what time it is. We're good. We got about 10 more minutes. Okay, good. So before we close class, let's see if we can do a standing balancing posture. There's one thing I've learned in these 2 months-ish that we've been kind of locked down, is that balance is key. Like, I have not that much to do, but I can feel overwhelmed in like 10 seconds. So I'm very thin-skinned at this point. I have to take absolutely the best care of myself and find a balance in each and every day by listening and saying, what do I need today? Some days I need a lot of this online work and getting things out there, and other days I just take care of myself and cook good food. So really listening. So the balance, we're going to come into this wonderful well, I call it the number 4 standing stretch. It's sort of like thread the needle, but watch how we do this. We're going to bring the weight onto your left foot. We're going to cross the right ankle over that left knee. Bring your hands together in prayer pose. You can stay here if this is a lot for you, but if you'd like to get the most out of this, you'll slowly begin to bow forward, squatting down. Bring your elbows forward in front of that right shin, and then if you want, bring your hands down to the earth, dropping the hips. If you have an advanced practice, if you want to come into crow on this one-legged crow, you can. But just feel this marvelous stretch on that right hip flexor and thigh. And then coming out, slowly finding your focus, bring the hands back together, rising up, and then coming into a standing posture. Let's do the other side. So really rooting down with that right foot, find your dristi or your focus, cross that left ankle over the right knee, hands come together in prayer pose. Stay here if you'd like, or if you want to go deeper, we're going to find our edge. That's that place where it's intense but safe for us. That's why we don't compare our practice to others. It doesn't make any sense in yoga. It's not competition. Good. Dropping the hips down, lengthening the spine, breathing down into the hips. This has got to be one of my favorite stretches. And if you're in the crow pose, you're going to slowly come out. And then we'll make our way back up. And coming back into standing. All right, both arms go out and up. Nice big inhale up. Breathe up, reach up. Exhale, bring some of that beautiful sky energy and connect it to your beautiful heart. Feel your body, feel the heat you're creating, feel the energy that you're moving. Remember that this is a sacred temple. It is up to us as to what we do with it. I highly encourage you to cultivate this ecstasy that yogis talk about, because it is truly incredible. As you build your practice, your nervous system shifts, and all of a sudden ecstasy is readily available to you throughout the day. Joy. It's really beautiful. Let's let our hands come down to the sides. We're going to close class with a little stretching. For time's sake, I think we got started pretty late today, but I'm just kind of making sure we're under an hour at least. Let's do this. The easiest is really just coming into bridge pose. If you want to come into a more advanced posture like Ustrasana or Urdhva Dhanurasana, those of you who have a practice, feel free to do that now. But for the rest of us, we're just going to do a nice, gentle bridge pose. So to do bridge safely, knees are bent, feet flat on the ground. Take your hands down to the side body, palms facing down. Walk your shoulder blades together underneath your heart so the weight of the posture falls on your shoulders, not your neck or your head. Then gently lift the hips up into bridge. Now if there's pain here, you always back away. But if there is no pain and you want to go deeper, interlace your hands underneath your hips, walk the shoulders together even more, and begin to lift up from the sternum past the nose. So you're lifting up and out of the hips in a classic back bend. Now staying here if you'd like, try not to clench your buttocks, that's the key. Stay here if you'd like. If you want more intensity, we're going to send the right leg straight up, lift the hips high and breathe. And bring that leg down and we'll switch sides. Left leg comes up, lift, stretch, open. And let this leg come down. Good, slowly rolling the spine down. Legs go long, arms go over the top of the head. Nice big inhale. And exhale. Just notice. Notice what you're creating in your physical and energetic bodies. And we're going to close class as we always do by doing some good happy baby. So you'll reach down between your legs and grab the big toes with the first 2 fingers of each hand. Press into the nail of the big toe with your thumb. It's an acupressure point for your pituitary gland. And we'll come into happy baby. The key here is to keep your hips planted on the ground. So you're going to lift your sternum, or basically your sternum up toward the sky to plant those hips. Now, if this is enough for you, stay here and enjoy happy baby. If you want more intensity, you will straighten your legs into full kundalini lotus, or the reclined splits. Wherever you are, fall in love with the moment. Be grateful for your breath. Be grateful for this very powerful day we get to have, sacred. And bending your knees, coming back into happy baby, all of us rocking gently side to side. A final roll out for the back. And now making our way into our Shavasana. Legs go long along the mat. Hands come down to the side body, palms facing upward. Walk your shoulder blades together underneath your heart. And breathe. Closing down your eyes. Now, if this were just a fitness class, so if yoga was just fitness, we'd probably take off right about now. We'd bolt out the door and go to our next appointment. But because it's yoga, it's something different than a workout. This is sacred work that we're doing, waking up our spirit. So this is the most important moment in a yoga. A teacher who doesn't offer it, I highly encourage you to go find teachers who do. Because this is the time where all this beautiful work and influence that we're having on ourselves today gets to really sink in, and sink into our bones and muscles and nervous system, but also equally important into our mind and our emotions. So just as if you were a bar of chocolate softening in some warm Hawaiian sun, just allow your body to soften down. Just let this be the moment where you can heal. Eyes are closed. Let the whole world just be fine right as it is. And because so many of us are going through such remarkably difficult times, it really is a challenging time, right? There's no escaping it. Deny it, which some people are doing, but you cannot escape it. So one of my favorite quotes is something I've read in workshops for years, and I thought I would share it today because it ties in well with what we open class with Maya Angelou's quote that says, "We all appreciate the beauty of a butterfly, but rarely do we acknowledge the journey that butterfly has had to go through to achieve such beauty." And so really learning to take the grist from life and allowing it not to destroy us, but to transform us is our choice. We get to choose that. And so here's a story that I want to share with you. And what I love about Eastern traditions, yoga, and other Eastern traditions is they often educate and uplift through telling story. So rather than being didactic and lecturing at people, they'll tell a story that anybody can kind of digest and process at their own. And here's a good example of a beautiful story. This is called Shake It Off and Step Up. There's a story of a farmer who had an old mule. One day the mule fell into the farmer's empty, dry well. The mule cried for help. And as the mule cried for help, the farmer assessed the situation. Although the mule had served the farmer faithfully for many years, the farmer decided that neither the mule nor the well was worth the trouble. So he decided that instead of bothering to lift the heavy mule from the well, he would simply bury him there. The farmer called his friend, and together they began to shovel dirt into the open well. When the first shovelful of dirt hit the mule, he panicked. "What is this?" he thought. When the second shovelful hit him, he began to cry. "How could the farmer do this to me?" When the third shovelful hit him, he realized the plan. However, the mule decided that he would not allow himself to be buried alive. As each shovelful fell upon his back, he rallied to himself to shake it off and step up. As each shovelful of dirt hit him on his back, and as he felt dejected and pained, he continued to chant to himself, "Shake it off and step up." This he did, until as the dirt reached the top of the well, the mule triumphantly walked out of what could have been his tomb. If the farmer had not decided to try to bury the mule would never have survived. Ironically, it was the dirt meant to bury the mule which actually ended up saving him, simply due to the way in which the mule handled the challenging situation. So you're going to take a nice deep inhale, fill the lungs. Exhale. You have been renewed and reborn. Begin to shake and move the body a bit. Wiggle the fingers and toes, roll the wrists and ankles, stretch over the top of the head if that feels good. And then bringing your knees into your chest, we're going to rock gently side to side. Our final gentle shiatsu for the kidneys and lower back. Our final yin moments in class, really taking in all this important healing energy so we can be really radiant in our daily lives and ride the waves of this powerful experience. And now we're going to roll over to our right side, so stay there. Use your right arm as a pillow. Just take a couple of breaths. This is one of my favorite postures on this side. It always just feels so restorative. Good, and then using your left arm to push yourself up, let's come up into an easy sitting pose, and we will close class together as we opened it, using sound as a form of therapy to help us realize the power of this present moment. All right, pulling your thumbs into the sternum, let's inhale for a long Om. And thank you so much for your presence today, either live or as a recorded session afterwards. It has been such a pleasure to connect with you and teach this profound and sacred yoga. May you truly have a profoundly beautiful day today and really wake up to the power that you were born with. A few announcements. One, I think I'll be able to do one or two more of these classes, so stay tuned for next week. I have a event set up for it, so I'm hoping we can get that done. And also, I've started some Zoom yoga classes, so if you're watching this live or in the month of May, you can join into the Zoom classes that I've got going on Sundays at 1 p.m. I teach both Hatha and Kundalini yoga, so if you're on a spiritual path, on a personal growth path, you might find this really helpful. So just check out my website, willspracticalyoga.com, go to live classes. It'll give you all the information for connecting with me if you like. It's a Zoom class and it's by donation, and we're starting our first 4 weeks session. It's a 4-week grouping of sessions on May 17th, so I'd really love to have you in class. And in this case, the bigger is the better. We need work done on this planet, so let's encourage our friends and ourselves to do the work that really will get us through this lockdown and this experience. So again, thank you so much for being here. If you are just showing up, this was an hour-long class with Will's Practical Yoga. I'm Will Donnelly. Please join me next week, and please like my page, Will's Practical Yoga, on Facebook. Go to YouTube, same thing, Will's Practical Yoga, and I look forward to maybe hosting you at a Zoom class as well. Aloha and namaste.